What If? Written by Jim Cloud. Read by Arashi. It was pretty easy to hang out with Akamatsu. She's got this positive energy that makes things feel doable, you know? And when she's down, I can help her get back up, the same as she does for me. Or, well, at least, that was the idea. These days I'm not so sure. Ever since we've gotten out of recovery and into a group home, things have been, well, not worse or anything, but Akamatsu has been smiling less and less. Mostly just when it's the two of us. But sometimes with the others, too. It's not like it's a problem or anything. She should feel how she feels. But it's not a problem. Unless it's a problem for her, anyhow. It's hard to tell if it is or not. Until one day, when it's just the two of us, late at night, sat on opposite ends of the couch. It's pretty much silent, but that's not so weird. It does make what breaks the silence feel even stranger, though. Do you think things are ever going to get better? For a second, I think I must have imagined the question. It was quiet before then, after all, and pretty comfortably so. But Akamatsu is staring at me expectantly. No way, right? I rubbed the back of my head for a second. Well, course I do. No way things aren't going to get better from here. They can't. We've got to be getting better and making things improve, day in and day out. If we aren't, what's the point of doing this in the first place? Why bother? Akamatsu doesn't look satisfied with that. Why? What's up? I prompt. Maybe we can get to the bottom of this. One of Akamatsu's hands reaches over her chest, clenches her PJs. Things don't feel better, she says, sighing. They haven't in a long time. Ah, and why's that? I ask. I scoot over on the couch to wrap an arm around Akamatsu, and she leans into it. Akamatsu sighs. Her eyes close. I wish I knew. But everyone's problems just feel the same. Or like they're getting worse. Well, yeah. A lot of them didn't even start working them out until after they were out of that facility. And things get worse before they get better. Still, it's tiresome. Especially when it feels like you aren't making progress. And what about your problems? I ask. Akamatsu stops, looking up at me. Huh? What about them? I click my tongue. Are yours getting worse, Akamatsu? That's a big question. Oh, well, I mean, I wouldn't say that. Akamatsu's gaze falls again. Yeah, could have predicted that one. My free hand strokes my goatee for a second. Then what would you say? That they're not getting better? Why is that? Akamatsu scoffs. When she looks back at me, she's pouting. I feel like you're trying to get me to say something here, Mamoto-kun. Hey! I raise my free hand in surrender. I can't help if I don't know your problem. And it's not just that other people have problems. Is it? Akamatsu chews her lip for a moment. Well, maybe not, she admits, falling back into me and sighing. So, talk to me then, I insist. What's not getting better? If I can help Akamatsu at all, I want to. She already carries such a heavy weight with this group, and soon as everyone got back together, a lot of them ended up looking back towards her to lead them. It's not that I don't think she's good for it, but back in the killing game, I don't know what to do, Akamatsu admits in a whisper. I can't help them. But so many of them want me to, or I need to, and I don't know how. It feels like it's all gonna come crashing down. I hum in assent. My hand starts rubbing Akamatsu's back, and she sighs. It's not a good place to be in, and I know it, when you don't know the answer, but someone else is looking to you for it. That's pretty much the worst feeling. It makes you feel like you were a fraud this whole time. Like all this time, there was no point in helping anyone in the first place. Because, what do you know? Akamatsu, I say gently, have you thought about stepping back at all? Akamatsu jolts up out of my hands, facing me. She looks aghast. I can't do that! If I do, what's going to happen to them? I sigh, rubbing the back of my head. And if you don't, what's going to happen to you? If you keep doing what you're doing, the way you're doing it, you're gonna bust. You know that, right? Nobody was made to keep on like this without taking breaks. And there aren't any breaks. There's never a dull day around here, that's for sure. As soon as one fire stops, another one starts. No question about that one. Big words coming from you, Momoto-kun, Akamatsu says, pouting. If I took a break, it'd be all on your shoulders, wouldn't it? I frown. I mean, nah. I'm sure some of these guys could handle themselves. Maybe not all of them, and maybe it'd be more work. Maybe a lot. But you're already overworked as it is. Aren't you? Akamatsu presses. I let out a sigh. I mean, I'll be fine, I say, somewhat unconvincingly. I could probably say that to one of my sidekicks with my full chest. But Akamatsu, well, she already knows. It's just hard to say. Besides, weren't we talking about you? Akamatsu reaches out and pokes my chest. No way I'm leaving it at that, Momoto-kun. It's not fair to you. It's not fair to you, I counter, before sighing. Maybe we can just agree it isn't fair to either of us. How's that sound? Akamatsu groans. Yeah, but that's not much of a fix. It's not like we can just leave. I swallow, hearing that. I hadn't really thought about it before that moment, to be honest. I don't know that I could have. The thought is terrifying. Just leaving it all behind. It's not like it's an impossible idea. We don't have to stay together. But is it? Akamatsu asks. Her voice pitches up. I run a hand through my hair, sighing. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I hadn't thought about it before now. It's a wild thing to think about. And wrong, too. I should never do that. I can't leave everyone behind. That's so shameful and terrible. And I kind of want it. I'm so tired. I think Akamatsu can tell, too. She takes my hand in hers and sighs. It's okay, she says gently. It's not like anybody has to come to a decision now or anything. We can, both of us can do anything we want, right? Do you want to be doing this forever? My shoulders tense. Do you? I ask. She knows my answer. And I know hers too. Her smile looks forced as it ever has. Maybe we should talk about something else, she suggests. Her voice is weak. I swallow. Yeah. Yeah. That's a good idea. Yeah. Definitely, it's a good idea. There's nothing else to say here, but I don't know if either of us have anything else to talk about now. Looking at each other with wide eyes. We're both thinking about it. There's no question about that for sure. I'd never even thought about it before. But now, it's all I'm going to be thinking about. And it sucks. Because if there's no way out of things, no fix, it's easy to just think that this is our lives now. But if there's a way out, we should, do what we can. For now, I say, breathing out. Do everything we can to help them be ready. If we're going to leave, that's the least we owe them after all. I couldn't handle if I left them with less.